exercise? Do you do it today or do you put it off until tomorrow? I feel fantastic because I exercise every day and multiple times throughout the day. That's just me. My personal question for you is, have you ever procrastinated your exercise? Oh, it's too late today, I'll do it tomorrow. Or I haven't got time, I'll do it tomorrow. Has tomorrow ever become next week, next month, perhaps next year? And I always ask this really interesting question. If you don't feel like brushing your teeth, how many days do you go before you brush your teeth? And usually, for me, it's twice a day, if not more, but it's never the next day. Because if you leave your teeth brushing for another day, your mouth feels disgusting. For me, that's just my personal opinion. Well, for me, that's what happens if you don't exercise. I feel terrible. I feel tired and lethargic. I feel yuck. Now, when I say that, I actually don't know, because I've never missed a day of exercise since was 10 years of age. I started exercising a little bit more effectively at 13 because I got up off the floor. But I've never missed a day of exercise. Now, I don't think that's weird because I haven't missed a day of eating. I haven't missed a day of bathing. I brush my teeth every day. I've eaten food every day. I've breathed air every day. Exercise to me is a normal part of life. But the question that people often ask me is, Rowie, how do you become disciplined to exercise? How do you get the motivation or inspiration to exercise? How come you've never missed a day? It's a really interesting question because I'm going to answer with exactly the same response that I use for everybody. How often do you want to feel good? Do you put it off till tomorrow? I don't want to feel good today. I only want to feel good tomorrow. So I'll wait till tomorrow till I feel good. It just seems ridiculous to me. And when you understand how the brain works, and it's not that complicated, when you get puffed, when you lift heavy, you produce chemicals inside your brain that make you feel good. You feel rewarded, you feel satisfied, you feel like you want to live your life, and you love the life that you're currently living, and you feel excited to go and do more stuff. It's interesting because motivation doesn't come by itself. It doesn't fall out of the sky in the pretty pink boxes I always share. Motivation comes from movement. So the more you move, the more momentum you create, the more motivated you become. It's not like I'm going to get motivated and then I'm going to go do stuff. It's do stuff and you become more motivated. Have you ever noticed that? You have a task to do, you don't feel like doing it, you get started, and before long you finish the task, because the more you do, the better you feel, the better you feel, the more you do, the better you feel. It's pretty simple. So here's probably the most important question: how do you stop being a procrastinator? And one of the things I've implemented into my life, and it might be a helpful tool for you, every time I hear myself say, to this day, every time I hear myself say, I'll do that tomorrow, or I don't have time, or I'll do it later, to me they're procrastinators' tools, procrastinators' vocabulary. So if I ever hear myself say, I'll leave that till tomorrow, I go and do it straight away. I don't want to be a procrastinator. I don't want to be a person who puts stuff off. How about you? I don't want to be lazy. I don't want to be undisciplined. They're just things that I don't want to be. They're not part of my psyche. I don't want to be that person. So to make sure that I never am that person, I just go and do what has to be done. Now, there's a priority list, of course. So at the start of the day, I always have a to-do list, simply because I want to be organised. I want to make sure that I get everything done. But I'm also very respectful that there's only 24 hours in a day. And I think I find it really interesting, people who say to me, I've got a to-do list, but I never get it done. To me, that's probably disrespectful of your own time. Because is it possible that if you have a big list of stuff to do and you know that you can't get it all done in a day, that now you've got an excuse? Oh, I didn't have time. I'll leave it till tomorrow. But tomorrow there's more stuff to do. So what do you do with your to-do list for tomorrow? What you didn't do today has to get done tomorrow, which means tomorrow's stuff doesn't get done because it may have to leave it till the next day. And you end up in a downward spiral of procrastination. A lot of people do that with their exercise. I haven't got time today, I'll do it tomorrow. They don't do it tomorrow. They don't do it next week. They don't do it next year, and they end up overweight, out of shape, unhealthy, depressed, and angry because their body is not the way they want it to look, and it doesn't function effectively, and they don't feel good. That, of course, all comes from self-discipline, self-motivation, and self-inspiration, but people think that they are some kind of special skill or tool or DNA or genetics. Of course, that's not true. What's your big why? And if you're a parent, a teacher, a coach, a boss, or a leader, I always ask this question. surely that is the inspiration and the motivation. If you've got people relying on you to be tough, to be strong, to make great decisions, to be a solution finder, to be positive in negative situations, surely you don't even have the right to be a procrastinator. You can't put your own health on hold. You can't put your own brain health on hold. You can't be mentally weak. You haven't got an option for that because you're a parent, a teacher, a coach, a boss, or a leader. As I share, if you're a single person who's nobody's relying on you, then maybe you've got the right to be lazy or undisciplined. But then I ask this question, how does your body feel when you're lazy and undisciplined versus how does your body feel when you've put in an effort? The beautiful thing about putting in an effort, it's not that you did it and I feel good. It doesn't fall out of the sky in a pretty pink box either. Your brain chemistry changes when you do high intensity stuff. When you force your brain to work hard, when you force your muscles and bones to work hard at 100% effort, your whole brain chemistry changes, and that of course makes you feel good. And if you feel good, you're more likely to do more stuff. So you could make an excuse, I don't feel like it. When it comes to exercise, I always have a giggle because the fight and flight exercise energy system is the phosphate system, and it's only 10 seconds. And I'm going to say something really controversial. If you don't find 10 seconds a couple of times, 3, 4, 5, it could be 10 times throughout the day, but it's only 10 seconds. If you don't find the time to do that, to get puffed for 10 seconds, not a minute, 10 seconds, several times throughout the day, my question is always, perhaps you'll have to accept the fact, or should you now accept the fact that you're going to be weak, you won't have any energy, you won't have lean, tight, strong muscles, you'll age very quickly, you'll probably get overweight and depressed very quickly because you're not looking after your body. And I always use the car analogy. You can't leave your car unserviced, don't put petrol in it, don't put water in it, don't pump up the tyres, don't get it serviced, don't look after it, let it rust away, and then complain that your car doesn't work properly. You have to maintain your car so that it can take you to places that you want to go. And that's just a car. How about your body? If you want to go places, do stuff, have a great life, live your life to the max, surely you've got to service the vehicle that you live in for your whole life. And that service takes very little time. The phosphate system is 10 seconds. Lift something heavy for 10 seconds that uses every single muscle, bone, ligament, tendon, joint possible, and keep going till you can't do any more within 10 seconds. And if you can do more than 10 seconds, then you need a heavier weight, whether that's a rock or a log or a child or a box of books or something I lifted just recently was a wet blanket. One of the dog's blankets had been outside in the pouring rain. And I tried to lift it. It was very heavy. And I thought, what a great workout. Lift the wet dog blanket. Your muscles and bones are blind. They don't know what you're lifting. They just have to be overloaded. Your heart and lungs are blind. They don't know what you do to get puffed. They just have to be overloaded so you get fit and strong. And if you're fit and strong, then you can live your life to the max. And is that discipline? Is that self-motivation? I'm not sure. I want to be healthy, fit and strong. I want to live my life to the max. I'm going to do what it takes. Will you do what it takes, or will you make excuses? Will you become a procrastinator? I'll do it tomorrow. Every time you say I'll do it tomorrow, you tell your own brain it's okay to procrastinate. And in my life, procrastination is not okay. How about you?